Hi, thanks for stopping by. Let's do another oil painting in 30 minutes or so using the alla prima or wet and wet technique. Canvas already has liquid white on it, so we're ready to go. Now, like I've told you before, in 30 minutes or so, this is not going to end up being a Winslow Homer or an Albert Bierstadt. In 30 minutes just doesn't give us the time to let layers dry or layer a detail, like we do when we're painting traditionally. But I'll tell you a couple things about that. We use these large brushes in this technique so we can cover canvas quickly and get it done. But there are some tricks we can do with these big brushes that make it look like there's detail, so we do end up with a genuine work of art, something that's nice to look at. The other thing is you can learn things painting quickly like I did, at least I did. I learned things painting quickly like this that I use when I'm painting a traditional painting, taking the time to layer detail and letting the layers dry. Most of all, it's just fun to do this. So let's paint. Now, it's winter outside. In fact, it's definitely winter outside. So I'm going to do a winter scene, and I want it to be pretty cold. So I'm going to put some cobalt blue in the sky up here. And I think I want this to be, I don't know, maybe late afternoon, early evening. I want the sky to be kind of streaky too. So I'm going to put some of this purple blue down here too. I want this sky to look cold too. Like I said, I think I kind of want it to be, I don't know, late afternoon, early evening. I don't want it to be sunset, I don't think. And I want this to be kind of streaky so that, it'll look like there's maybe a high, thin overcast or something up there. Yeah, maybe something like that. Okay, blend that in and see what it looks like. Actually, I'm going to blend this way. So, looks like maybe those clouds are going that way. Well, maybe not quite that steep. Yeah, I think that'll work. And let's have a mountain in here. And since I want this to be cold, and it's going to be completely snow covered, I'm not going to use black. I'm going to use blue. I want a big old mountain in here. I think the peak needs to be just kind of to the right here. Maybe more. Okay. Like that, maybe. And, okay. I hope that you had a joyous Christmas. I hope you had a very joyous Christmas, and I hope your New Year was great, and I hope this New Year is blessed and profitable for all of you. Our Christmas, sadly, kind of got canceled. We were getting ready. We were getting ready to go to my daughter's in Virginia, and my beloved wife, she was too far away for me to catch her. She stumbled and fell. Ended up injuring herself pretty severely. It's one reason I haven't done a video in quite a while. She ended up with a concussion and a gash between her eyes that took 7 stitches to fill her face. That took 7 stitches to close it. Her face swelled completely up, swelled her eyes shut. Poor lady, she was down with the count. Now, thankfully, the MRIs and CAT scans showed no significant brain trauma, and they believe she will fully recover. In fact, she's doing a lot better now. But I'd still appreciate your prayers. Okay, now I want this to be quite cold, so and late in the day, so I'm gonna put kind of pinkish colored snow on this side, and gonna have a Kind of a little break in the mound right there. Like I said, I want this painting to be quite cold. Yeah, I think that'll work. I need this to come to that peak, all right? That'll work. And maybe have a little on that one. And okay, I have some trees in front of us, that'll be all right. On the other side, I'm going to use a blue. Now, I don't know if this is going to be dark enough. Yeah, I think it will be. Like I said, I want this mountain to be completely snow covered. I'm sorry about being in your way here. I stay off to the side here and kind of stay out of your way. Yeah. Let me get in your way just a minute. Take a look at that. I kind of want to break that up a little bit or something right there. Did that work? Yeah, I think that'll work. All right, let's get some trees going. I want some trees way back on this side. Not very many of them either. I want them to be way back there. I don't want them to be too dark, but I want them to, you know, look like there's trees. You can use these big brushes. I'm not trying to instruct you here, but you can use these big brushes to make it look variegated. Now I'm going to show you a little trick I learned. I want these trees back there to look like they got a little snow on them. I don't really want them to be all green. I bought these little fat fan brushes not really knowing what I was going to do with them. And turns out that I'm going to do this. You know, winter always makes me, especially when there's snow on the ground, it always makes me think, that's a little too stick there. Always makes me think of my younger daughter, my youngest daughter actually. She loves winter. When she was a little girl, I want that to look like this. Okay, too much green in it. When she was a little girl, she loved Frosty the Snowman. In fact, she loved snowmen, period. And, oh man, her siblings would complain all the time because all she ever wanted to do was watch Frosty the Snowman on TV. Now let's have some more. Well, show you how dumb I am. I got the idea. Yeah, let's start over here. I got the idea one time to I wonder if I should close that. I mean, I'm going to close that off back there. Yeah, kind of like that. Make it look like that valley disappears. Okay. Well, I got the idea to, we got a snow one time, almost 1.5 feet. In fact, it was if you watched episode 12, Sunset Cabin, it was the snow that resulted in the long, terrible day for me and my family. And so we had a lot of snow in the backyard, like I said, almost 1.5 feet. So I decided, I told everybody we ought to go outside and build a snowman for Hillary, make it look like Frosty. I had an old hat, and I had a couple of pipes, and so we did. We went out back and And I'm going to have to turn that over because I'm getting too much at the bottom. Yeah, see, that's one bad thing that happens when you use these big brushes here. I want to make that look like it's taller, okay? So anyway, we went out back in the backyard. Oh, you know what? Something else. I'm gonna want, not much, but I'm gonna want a little water down here, I think. Well, not this time of year, it's gonna be ice, but I want a little anyway. Just a little, maybe a little more than that. And maybe I'll bring it this way a little ways. So anyway, we went out in the backyard and we built a snowman, and I gave it one of my one of my pipes. It wasn't a corncob pipe, but I gave one of my pipes. Now let me show you something here. I think I'll use this bigger one. That's a neat trick on it. I want to make it look like, now I don't want to be snow covered, but I want these trees back here to look like they got snow on them. Like I said, I don't want them to be completely snow covered, but I want to make them look like they got snow on them. So just do that. Anyway, we went in the backyard and we built a snowman, and I'll worry about that in a minute, I guess. And we put a hat on him and put a pipe in his mouth and gave him some black stones for eyes, and he looked quite a bit like Frosty. I'd say I want those trees to look like they have snow on them back there, so. There's another one of those fat fan brushes I bought. I didn't really like them until I started doing this. So we got Frosty going, got him looking like Frosty, and started dancing around him, singing the song, Frosty the Snowman. Hillary's so happy. We're all holding hands, dancing around. Well, naturally, he did not come to life. And my little girl, who was about 6 at the time, was absolutely devastated. Frosty did not come to life. I mean, he wasn't going to, and I knew that, so like I said, that shows you how dumb I was as a dad. Pull a stunt like that. But it didn't ruin her love of Frosty. She eventually got over that, and she still loved Frosty. She, probably had I'm sorry I'm in your way again. I'm going to look over here. I think that's going to be good enough. She probably had a different opinion of her dad about that time. I'm going to scrape a little bit of this because I'm going to have some trees over here. Didn't really need to do all of that. Don't know what I was thinking. Let's bring that all down. Don't really want all that green in there, but I can fix that in a minute. I just want to kind of get the lay of the land here. Don't really want green snow. Okay. Yeah. Let's get our snow in here. Yeah, that's how dumb I was as a dad. Pull a stunt like that on my little girl. Everybody knew that Frosty wasn't going to come to life except for her. She fully expected it. And it didn't happen. Let me tell you something, guys. If you don't want green in your painting, don't put any green in it. Don't get it. If you don't want green snow, don't do what I did here. That's going to be all right. Like I said, we're not trying. Oh, I don't want to go that far. I'm going to have some trees over there. So let me kind of get rid of some of that. Like I said, We're not trying to compete with Albert Bierstadt or Winslow Homer here. Okay. I'm going to have to get a little more white here. That's looking all right, I guess. That's a good way to waste time. I only have 30 minutes here. Spend a couple of minutes getting paint out that should have already been out. Okay. You know what? I think I need those trees. And I might have some over here too, okay? Let's do that. I'm gonna get those trees in here before I do anything. I'm gonna have some trees up here that have some snow on them too. Make this look like a nice cold winter painting. How big do I want these trees? Let me put one back there. Okay. And how many do I want? What do you think? About 3? Let's do 3. Have a big one right there. Let's have 3 over here. Don't want to pick up too much pink out of that mountain. Yeah, let's have one more. Have one little one right here. Just a small one. Got a bent top. Well, that happens sometimes. Don't exactly know where this location is, but I'm sure the winters can get kind of tough here. Okay. Maybe a couple over here. A little further away, I think. Back there, I think. And a small one. I had darkened that up here. Make it look like, yeah, that's gonna be a little more foliage there. Okay. Now let's make those look like they got some snow on them. Let's use this brush and let's make these look like they got some snow on them. I'm sure being up here in the middle of winter, they're going to have some snow on them. I don't want to get too much down at the bottom because I want that to be kind of dark. Okay. I need a little more right in there, don't you? That'll probably do it. Let's do these over here now. Kind of get out of your way so you can see. And get my old bearded face out of your way. You know, I've been told that I have a scraggly beard. And I believe it, I do. It's never been anything to write home to Mom about. But I got it. Look at there. I got to have more white out. Yeah, my beard's never been anything to write home to Mom about. I grew it back when I was working on transit construction, building power line, because we were working when the sun came up. When it got light enough to work, we were working, and we worked till it got too dark to work. And I was only getting, depending on the time of year, I was only getting 4 to 6 hours of sleep a night, so I didn't want to waste any time with shaving, so I just didn't. Let's see, I want to have some, yeah, kind of need a shoreline. Come on, there we go. All right. Yeah, I didn't really have time to shave, so I'm gonna have to go the other way, go against those trees. I don't want any more white or green in my snow owl. I got some anyway. Okay. Anyway, I didn't really have time to shave, and I didn't want to waste time shaving, so I just didn't. And I grew this beard, and yeah, I know it's scraggly, but it covers up a good bit of the ugly, so there is that. And I'm sure that anybody looking at me appreciates that aspect of it. So, anyway, oh man, I'll tell you something. I've got a couple of grandsons that can grow absolutely amazing beards. I could put this on with a brush, but I just like doing it with a knife. I think it gives it texture. Anyway, I got a couple of grandsons that can grow, prodigious beards. My goodness. They can grow some pretty impressive beards. But their grandfather can't. I can't do much. Someday, I'm going to have to do something about my easel so I can get in here better, in the bottom here. I don't know if you can see what the problem is there, but I can. That's going to be good enough. Okay. Let's clean up the bottom of these a little bit. And actually, you know what I want to do? I want this to be ice, so I'm going to get some cobalt blue and pull it down. Because I want this to look cold. Yeah, okay. And we'll get, let's see, which brush? This one? Maybe this one to kind of across a little bit. I don't care if I pull a little white out there. That's fine. But I want that to look good. See, maybe I have enough white on here. Yeah, I think so. I want to kind of push some of this stuff out like this, so it looks like it's ice, maybe. Okay, you know, I got a couple of minutes. I want a shrub or something right down here. Well, I want all the trouble to put this on, and I'm going to take some of it off, but I want a little shrub down here. In fact, I don't know how this is going to work out, but what I think I want is, let's see, I'm going to put some black at the bottom, give it a shadowy base, and some brown. Okay. And I'm going to overlay that with, let's see, overlay that with maybe some of this bright green. See what that looks like. See if it kind of looks like, I don't know, I think I'm gonna have something like maybe holly or something. Don't know what this is gonna look like. Don't even know if I'm gonna like this, but we'll see. I'm gonna kind of make it look like it's shrubbery. I don't want anything over there. I'll make that a little bit bigger maybe. And then maybe put a little bit of white on it. I don't know. Maybe it looks look like it's snow covered in spots. I don't know. I don't know how that looks. And then let's pretend like this is a holly bush, and let's see if this works. Let's see if we can give it some red berries. I don't know. We'll try. I don't know what this is going to look like, but I want a little bright color. I know this is a cold painting, but it'd be nice if this had a little brightness to it here and there. A little more. I want and down here maybe. Just want a little brightness, and I'll tell you what, I still have a couple minutes, so let's have let's have a couple of sticks growing out of it. In fact, maybe we could have a pretty good size, well, not pretty good size, just a little decent tree that just got no limbs on it, got no leaves on the limbs because it's winter. Growing kind of like that. And I'm going to pull a shadow. Let's see. I'm going to pull some brownish black shadow out of this because the sun's way over there. Just a little bit. And I should maybe kind of just add something to kind of clean up the bottom of that maybe. Kind of tap the brush. In fact, maybe that's what I need to do here is like as if maybe there's some some ground cover. Wouldn't be much of it showing through the snow, but give a little shadow. Okay. I think we're good. I'm going to sign it over there, I guess. And we'll be done. Okay. Nice cold winter painting. And this is 13. Okay. You know what? Let's have a point on that. Let's see. Let me bring that to a point. Actually, I'm going to use this smaller one. Bring that to a point. And bring that up. That looks better. Okay. Sometimes those little things matter the most. All right. All right. Well, folks, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you had a pleasant 30 minutes. And I hope to see you next time. And until next time, God bless and take care.